Some bullish signals are starting to fire off, and it appears as though an upside may be imminent. We are on the verge of firing off the biggest historical volatility signal, which can push the asset beyond smaller time frame upside targets the asset has to offer. My goodness. Welcome back to the channel on this Hump Day Wednesday. This is ARCa. Let's dive into PCSA. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into ticker symbol ASRE on the 3-day chart here, and please go ahead and observe that the Bollinger Band's bottom we faced at about this 2408 bottom side was the target that we used for a potential upside continuation, right? So we definitely got that, and we're now upside of the critical resistance zone that we've been looking at 2696. It appears as though the asset closed at 2750, and it also shows that we may be reverting back to the mean, right? So we talked about this a couple days ago, being the mean reversion that is typically looked at, right, when you trade the volatility bands, aka Bollinger Bands, right? So this particular indicator is actually my reversion variant, and it is displaying to us a potential upside continuation here to specifically the area of about 3367, aka 34 cents. So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have, right? So we also have been talking about this 3-day falling wedge, but the falling wedge in combination with the Gaussian band mid-band right here, we have a very, very close candle closing in 1 hour and 20 hours. One day, my goodness, in 20 hours, closing upside of the mid-band, which is at about 2650. That would be a bullish statement coming out of this asset, and then it would be yet again another green print to continue this green shift of the Gaussian channel, right? Shifting into a potential bull market. As you can see here, the last time we were green was actually on December 2022. So almost a year down the road, we are starting to turn green again, right? So we may be at an early indication for a continuation to the upside here, which has targets to a minimum 3222 from the present price, right? The next target, and that would be from the breakout point, right? So which is this area here, taking a trend line from this top side to this bottom side and applying it to this area here, since this was the candle that got a clean close outside of the triangle. That I can show you, right? There you go. See this? It has a touch of the support here. That was the validator before a continuation, right? So now we're coming back to confirm the conversion of resistance into support, right? So now we're getting that support validation on this last 3-day iteration. And now we're about to close this one in about 1 day and 20 hours, which could be Friday at market close. And we shall see the effects of that come Monday market open, right? So that's when we're going to see that. The next target to observe here will be the zone of about 3754 or 3785 from the center of the triangle itself, and then the ultimate target for now, which is the local upside targets that we can consider beyond the statistical. Before the statistical upside can take control. That would be the range of 4541 to 4726 with a focus of about 4608. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at as a potential breakout play here, because it is essentially that, and it's currently validating. So now let's move on to the next chart here and see what's good, right, team? So 8-hour time frame, volatility versus momentum. So we're actually right now contracting, looking very good with an upside pivot or an upside bias on the stochastic momentum indicator, not to mention the fact that we are actually decreasing bear pressure here on the MACD and preparing ourselves for a bullish crossover, right? So this is looking pretty powerful, and we could be at the early stages of a primary breakout here. So let's move on to the next chart and see what's good, right? So this is the right angle triangle that we were looking at first, and this is honestly something that has been happening to this formation and all other triangle formations on regularly. As of the last maybe 2 or 3 months, there is a shift into the breakout process from these formations, and that usually leads to a fake out, aka bear trap, before continuing on to the upside. Now, what's curious here is that in the hourly time frame, there appears to be another bullish formation being presented, right? and that would be another ascending triangle, right? So go ahead and feast your eyes on this, as this is yet again another bullish formation, and of course, it would be suggesting for us to look at further upside targets. So let's just say this is the hourly chart, right? So every candle is 1 hour long. So let's just go ahead and say that we broke out from this zone here on Thursday, November 16th, right? So let's just say we did get that. The first upside target to observe would actually be within our resistance range here, which is very, very, very similar to the 2942. So it's looking at a 2961, right? Let's go ahead and get the secondary target, which would be the center of the triangle, arguably here. Let's go ahead and apply that to that breakout zone 2. That would land right about here. And look at how perfect it's landing to our discretionary resistance levels already, 30, 34. And we had a target set to, this is 30.28. And the target was already set to 30.34, right? Very, very impressive times here. The next target to look at, and the last one, would be the back of the triangle, right? From the back side all the way to the bottom side. And we apply it to the same place yet again. And it's coming up to this is very curious. Seeing that we would break out from this zone here, check out the resistance. Right at the top side of the linear regression channel, aka 3215. Guys, this is looking very good. I think ASRE could consolidate a little more before a continuation to the upside, but it's looking like it wants to do it soon. And the primary historical volatility setup, which has massive targets for us to observe. And we already fulfilled one, which is the 380% move to the upside to 4250. We're getting a pullback from there, of course, because we already observed that upside resistance, right? From down here at 954, the thing went up 380%, getting a pullback from that historical top, right? And this is what I mean right here, right? This is the I'm sorry, it was a 435% move to the upside, since we have total iterations of the back test, right? So anytime that volatility has contracted into critical contraction, paired with stochastic momentum with an upside pivot, 7 out of 7 times in the total in the total history, or the total trading history of the asset on the 5-day time frame, have proven correct 100% of the time. So that setup has already fired, and it's still within our bounds, right? So what I was expecting here was for us to continue on to the upside here with volatility expanding and stochastic momentum with an upside pivot. As long as volatility does not enter either critical zones, which is within the 90 percentile or within the 15 percentile of contraction. So this is contraction, this is expansion, right? Then the statistical setup is still set for a continuation to the upside to meet other bounds, right? So in this case, we have taken into consideration a standard deviation from the average upside thrust, aka the mean, and that standard deviation is coming out, which is 68% of the results from the standard distribution curve, aka bell curve, right? Right within this area here, you're looking at 875 spots, 17% to the upside, which would take us to a target of about 80.91 to about 91.79. Remember that this is a 5-day time frame, though. Each candle takes 5 days to complete, right? So, and now the upper bound of the first standard deviation is leading to a really, really massive target, and that would be right around in here, right? And that target is leading to, so the target is leading to 133, but the range is actually 131 to 167, and seeing that it has the confluence here to the 2.618, that is incredibly important for us to consider, right? They're probabilities, they're not certainties. 7 out of 7 is not enough iterations to create a total habit here, but it's already impressive enough that it's getting 7 out of 7 reads, and this being the 8 and already fired off to the mean, right? I would say 98% to the mean, right? 380% to the 435 is fair enough. All right, team. So let's see. Beyond this, we're getting bullish crossovers left and right here by hourly time frame, sitting in the gravitational zone, likely an upside pivot from here. This is a bullish crossover in entering the gravitational zone in the 4-hour time frame, likely upside. Same situation here with the 8-hour time frame with a bullish crossover. And in this case, the 12-hour is not at the resistance of the SMA 14, but seeing that the SMA 14 is located right within that gravitational zone, highly likely that this price action can combat the upside here. Very, very impressive time. Same situation with the daily time frame here, right? Moving onwards and forwards and upwards. And this is getting very close to the SMA 14, which is sitting right within that gravitational zone. So as soon as we're able to get these shorter time frames to really commit for that upside, then it would be good for us to continue observing the larger time frames, specifically the 3-day into the 5-day, right? But right here, it's showing that the 5-day RSI is within the gravitational zone support. So this may actually bounce to the upside, and seeing what's happening here with a bi-weekly time frame, coming right back down to find support at that SMA 14. This is critical. It could be the bounce that we're looking for before a continuation to the upside, which is making me feel that there could be a fundamental reason why this asset is about to pop open. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay it out here just like that. Please do your own DD on this, right? As you know that I do not follow any fundamental metrics, so I need you to keep an eye out for that. And then let me know if there's anything you would like to shed light on, right, team? But I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.